Hey guys, this is John Bergmuller, the Arts and Entertainment Editor over at the Slate, the on-campus student newspaper at Shippensburg University. I'm here with Michael Donegan, one of my assistants. We're missing Olivia Riccio. She is not able to be with us today, but we're really excited. It's our first podcast. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just excited to be recording. Since I joined the Slate, I never thought I would be actually recording a podcast, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And then we also got Shane Kalashevsky right here. Shane, pop in here and say hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Shane is the opinion editor over at the Slate, and he decided to join us for our conversation about our pop culture for this podcast. So what we're going to do is, the basic format is we're going to have an introduction. Here's our introduction. Then we're going to talk about our stories from the week for our next week's edition of the Slate. And then we're going to talk about some recent happenings in the world. Not anything political, mostly just like pop culture, like movies, music, film, and for this week we're going to be talking a little bit about the Jonas Brothers. Michael is excited, but Shane is ecstatic.
I'm beyond excited. The entire reason that I'm here is to talk about the Jonas Brothers.
So with that we're gonna get right into it. Michael, this week you are writing an article for the Act 5 One Act Film Festival. So tell us a bit about that.
Yes. So the Act 5 One Act Play Festival, it was held last night. It's also being held tonight and tomorrow night, which is Saturday night.
What time?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's, short and sweet. It took about an hour and a half. It was very, I don't know, the first story, it was cool because my first story covering for the Slate was an Act 5 production. So this was the second one that I was able to go to, and back then it was Clue, and I came in with low expectations because I didn't know what to expect, because it was student production. I'm not sure how the quality is, but I was very impressed, very blown away, and the same can be said for last night. I was very impressed. All the plays were very good. All the performers were very good. They did a good job. It was handled well, ran well, so pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. So you got to experience all four of the plays.
Yes.
What were they sort of about? What was your favorite one?
There was two favorites, two of the four. One of them was called Interview of a Lifetime,
mm-hmm.
which was about a woman, a gay woman actually, who is interviewing for a spot in heaven.
All right.
And so that was very interesting. And then the first one was called On the Block, which is basically about all of these like mishmash of characters, and they're basically unfinished, undeveloped characters from a struggling writer. Mm-hmm. And I like that because it was very meta. It broke the fourth wall a lot. It kind of reminded me of the Stanley Parable, which is a video game.
Of a video game? Oh my gosh.
So it kind of reminded me of that, where it's just like this narrator's breaking the fourth wall and like addressing the characters. So it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And what were the other two?
One was called Surviving a Day in the Library, which is about a librarian's rather stressful day at work. And then mm-hmm. I forgot what the last one was called, but that was about a high school students. One was skipping school, and the other one was taking a test, and like they're best friends, and there's animosity for the person skipping school and missing the test because they won't take it together. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
All right. Well, Do you remember anyone that you interviewed? Was there anyone interesting that you got to talk to?
Yes, I got to talk to Michael Bradley. He directed Interview of a Lifetime, and he was also the One Act coordinator. So it was pretty nice talking to him. I also got to talk to Gabe Buckley, I believe his name was, and he performed in a few of the plays. So it was pretty nice talking with people, a part of the cast, and also people who helped put the show together.
You don't have your recordings or your notes here or anything, but do you remember anything that like they said that really struck you?
Michael Bradley told me that they had a very limited amount of time to rehearse. They had mm-hmm. 3 weeks and plus like tech week.
Yeah, and then they had all that snow too.
Yeah, exactly. So that prohibited them from rehearsing a lot. So it was very stressful, but it came together and it was pretty solid.
Okay, cool. So is there anything else you really want to say about the festival?
Like I said, it was very, very, very good. I'm not usually the type to really go up, unless like it's for the Slate. I'm not really the type to go and see a play or a theatrical production on my own volition.
Yeah.
So seeing it yesterday, I just might on my own volition. I just might go and see a play just on my own because it was very nice. I really liked it.
Well, that's cool. Shane, have you ever been to any Act 5 performances?
No, I've never. Actually, you know what? Maybe I have. Back when I was a freshman, they did a play about a composer who was growing up and she was going deaf as she was getting older, and it was really good. I can kind of concur with what you said. I think it's kind of crazy. You go into it with such low expectations because they are college students. Their full-time job is not doing this, and they always have like a very short amount of time to kind of pull this all together. But I remember being so impressed, super blown away, thinking that it was a lot higher quality than I expected. So yeah, Act 5 has definitely a history of kind of proving people wrong. And same thing that you said, after that I remember thinking like maybe I would go to a play or a musical or something when I had free time on my own. So I can totally agree with that. What about you, John?
Well, I've actually played in the pit. I played the trumpet, and so I've actually played in the pit for 2 of their musicals. I played for 925 and I played in Heathers, and so that's always fun playing there and getting to see sort of during the last week all the last minute stuff come together into a cohesive thing. But then outside of that, I've covered a few different other performances with that, and so it's always neat to sort of see, you know, different directors, different actors, but that same sort of drive and that motivation to really put together an actual show that's not, you know, subpar, that put together a quality performance to put on. And it's cool how they pull the community in, especially with the Rocky Horror. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Rocky Horror, but that's so neat how they create a work that gets audiences so involved, particularly that performance. It's like everyone's yelling and it's so chaotic, and you know, people have props and doing all this crazy stuff. But it's neat how that's sort of a focal point for the community to really join together and be a part of there.
Absolutely. And one cool thing that Michael was also telling me was this is the first one act festival that Act 5 has put on. Usually in years past they have just one act play, usually written by a famous playwright. But this year they did student written plays, so it's pretty cool to get. It's pretty cool to get the students involved. And
I think
awesome.
something they said was student written, student directed, and student performed.
Yeah.
That was like a big selling point for them.
That is so cool. I am a lot more intrigued now thinking that they're student written. That's so cool.
Yeah, and it was very well done too. So
Shane, do you want to write a play?
I would love to write a play. I don't think I'm necessarily qualified, considering I can barely read. But I think I would love to do it. I don't think anyone would love to act in it. But, I mean, who knows?
John and I will be the leads.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. I mean, we'll see what comes up. Now that I'm writing for the Slate, I'm getting a little better about reading and writing. So we'll see what's on the horizon.
Well, that's awesome. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. We have one other story for this week that I worked on a little bit. It was an MSA event. It was live at the Apollo. I think that's a reference to some kind of...
It's the Apollo Theater in Harlem.
The Apollo Theater, that's right.
Yeah, it's in Harlem.
Yeah, I remember they said there. And so it started out really cool. They had a Kahoot game and people connected their phones and stuff, and it was Black History Month trivia. And so it was sort of a fun little icebreaker almost for the event. It was a very informal event, but it was a fun little icebreaker for the event that sort of warmed the audience up and got people sort of a little more open. And so people were jiving with the MC and just sort of having friendly banter and just talking and stuff. And then what was happening was there was like a multiple choice. So it was like which person invented the refrigerator, and there would be like several names, or there would be just sort of facts for everyday parts of our lives that we use. So like everyone uses a refrigerator every day. That's like a staple of the American home, and you would never know that it was invented by a black person. And so sort of a big selling point of the event was that Black history isn't Black history. It's our history. It's history, and it's important, and it needs to be taught. I talked to a guy there, and I'm an English minor, and I took advanced placement classes in high school because I really loved English and stuff, and I also like history and stuff, but I've never heard of the Harlem Renaissance before I came here, and so I had an interesting conversation. I think it was Jaron Binniger that told me a lot about it, and I walked away knowing a little bit more about it. And this is just me, coming to this event and reporting on this event. I walked away knowing
Yeah.
knowing a little bit more.
Mhm.
But as for the arts and entertainment side of the event, it was very cool. What they would do is they'd invite people up to sing and dance, and it was just whatever the heck you wanted to do, you could go up there and do it. One guy brought a guitar, a few people brought guitars actually, and they just they went up and did their thing, and it was impressive that people just like they just stand up, walk up, and then out of nowhere pull out these amazing voices, these amazing talents, these amazing acts. And so some people didn't sing, some people danced, so they'd pull up a song on YouTube and play it over the speakers in Orndorff, and they dance along to it. And something they talked about is stepping, and I think that's I'm not necessarily the most familiar. Maybe one of you guys know a little bit more about me. I haven't done the research in that quite yet for the story, but it's sort of the dances that they did to sort of embody their culture, and that was really interesting. Maybe one of you guys knows a little bit more about stepping.
I don't know a lot about stepping. I think it's so cool to watch, and I'm jealous that I don't know more about it. I know that a lot of it originated, obviously it's tied to like older cultural things, but it's a really big thing at like HBCUs,
Right.
historically black colleges and universities, which is so cool. They have really big fraternity and sorority life there, and they do a lot of stepping, and they have stepping competitions and stuff like that. So I know that that's a big thing there, and it's cool. I know that when we have statewide here, they have a step competition, and all of the different schools put together a step team and they compete, which I've been fortunate to see that. I know that I didn't go to it, but I saw it somewhere in public, and I thought that it was crazy. It was definitely an experience for sure. But I was in the office above the night at the Apollo when this was going on, and it was rocking. You could hear everyone was having so much fun. It was so loud, like you could hear it through the floor. So it seemed like quite the experience.
And I don't think I mentioned this. This was in Orndorff Theater, and so this was literally right below the Slate office. So Shana was up there doing work and stuff, and he could hear everyone down there. They had representatives from the Divine Nine, I think is what they called it. The 9 fraternities and sororities. I think there's 5 fraternities and 4 sororities that are on campus, and they had representatives. The president of a few of them came up and said who he was. Said what they're about, said their mission statements, I think they had a slogan or a motto or something, and they did a little coordinated dance, and it was so cool to like, I mean, I in high school like I dance in musicals and stuff, and it'd be like whatever, but these guys, they were so intricate with their arms and legs, and their movements were so precise. It's like they're not just up there flopping their body around.
They know what they're doing.
They're precise. They are so articulate with the moves that they were doing, and that impressed me. It's one thing to sit up there and do whatever that you want by yourself, but to have 2 people doing the same exact thing at the same exact time in such a coordinated fashion, I was just so impressed by it.
So crisp.
So crisp. So crisp.
Yeah.
But it was well put together when they'd come up with those coordinated acts, and then some people would go up with poetry and read poems, and that was
That's
cool
really
too.
cool, yeah.
There's one poem by a guy I can't remember his name, but he was one of the big names in the Harlem Renaissance.
Langston Hughes?
Who?
Langston Hughes?
I feel like that name was brought up last night. I just don't
He was a
remember
very
who it was.
important figure in the Harlem Renaissance, yeah.
I just don't remember. I couldn't put the name to the poem, but he wrote a poem about let's make America again.
Okay,
And
maybe
that
not.
that was a line in it.
Right.
And in contrast to the phrase "Make America Great Again," we're gonna try not to get too political here.
Right.
But in contrast to that, it was so interesting to see a callback all the way 100 and whatever years ago that this line was used, and it's so similar to a slogan that's being used now.
Yeah.
And they have pretty clearly different meanings to them. And that was the poem read by Jaron Bittinger that I talked to him a little bit
Right.
about. And that was really interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool that students were given an outlet to, like you said, people were coming up on
Oh,
stage
yeah.
and performing.
And it's like the one MC even told me, I can't remember her name for the life of me, but I talked to her afterward, and she said, yeah, I didn't intend on reading a poem, but I just pulled a poem up on my phone, I walked up there, I read it. it was so informal and that it was so relaxed, and it was just like a friendly gathering almost, and less an event, and less of something that she actually said was one of the goals of the event was to sort of inform people about Black history
Right.
without cramming it down their throats or forcing it.
Yeah.
And that was something I think that they pulled off well.
Very
That
educational.
it was just sort of an immersion in that sort of culture and stuff. And this was a really cool part too. The director of MSA, I can't remember her name either, but she had told me, I tried to talk to her and get an interview out of her, and she had said, I can tell you like their names and stuff, but I prefer you to talk to them because this is about them. This isn't about me. This isn't my thing. This is about the students, and that's always something that I think has always been valuable on our campus. That so many professors see this as about the students, not necessarily about the campus, not necessarily about the big picture. It's about all the small pictures that form that big picture. And so it was really a neat event. It was 2 hours long. I know that MSA is doing some more stuff. I think on March 28th they're having a Black Experience tribute. I can't necessarily remember the details of that. I know that were going to have that last week, but the snow pushed it back.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to that too, because if it's anything like last night, it'll be a cool event.
Yeah.
So, have we hit that subject hard enough? Do we want to move on?
The only thing I had something. Oh my gosh, I had something to say about the Harlem Renaissance.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So you had said you didn't know about the Harlem Renaissance, and that's kind of when they referenced it was named the Night at the Apollo. That was kind of like is it a homage?
Homage.
Homage.
Yeah.
Homage. They're playing homage to the Apollo Theater, which is in Harlem, and was kind of the epicenter of the poetry and music and jazz and everything that came out of Harlem during the Harlem Renaissance.
Yeah.
So that is that.
And I'm an English major, so the Harlem Renaissance is just very, very important in terms of literature and just the history of English as a subject.
Yeah.
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 Well, okay then.
Neat.
Are we gonna move on to? Shane's getting excited over here.
Are we doing it?
Are we doing
Can I
it?
have
Is it
the
time?
headphones? If we're
It's on.
doing it, can I have the headphones?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Ow.
We're not actually playing the song.
You almost
Yeah.
choked
Okay.
me.
Mind you.
All
All
right.
right. So last night, today we were recording this on Friday. All right. We probably should have said that at the beginning. Friday, March 1st. Here, this is the afternoon. We're up here in the Cub, the top floor of the Cub, in the WSYC studio, recording this podcast. And last night, at exactly midnight,
Yes.
when the moon struck its zenith and the clock
The stars aligned.
rang 12 and the stars aligned and angels sung on high. Shane, take it away.
I transformed out of a beast and into a beautiful young woman, and we played the Jonas Brothers song as soon as it came out, which to me it was crazy. I didn't even know that they were back together. I didn't know that they were producing a song. It was we were just all hanging out in the office yesterday, and someone had said, "Oh, did you know that there's going to be a Jonas Brothers song tonight?" And I was blown away. I was so excited. So I organized.
So we got together and
Yeah,
we
we
had a
all
little
got together in the
had a little
office.
party.
Well, the crazy thing about it is the Cub closes at 11, and so they're like, "Please leave," and we all just kind of stayed, and like knowing that it comes out at midnight, so we just kind of stayed. Nobody ended up kicking us out. It was very polite of them. They knew what we were there to do, so it was really important, and it was really great. We got to 12 finally after waiting like a million years, and played
A million years.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, it's terrible. And we played it, and it was. I thought it was phenomenal. That's like really all that I can. Have you guys? You both heard it, I'm assuming.
I
Yes.
literally just listened to this before we started recording.
I made him listen to it.
And what
true.
did you think?
It was very, I'm not a huge Jonas Brothers fan. I never really listened to them when they were on their
Oh,
heyday.
neither did I.
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I think that's a trend pretty common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very upbeat. I really liked it. I'm probably gonna go back and search up the song again.
Yeah.
And listen to it a few more times. 'Cause
It
I
was so catchy.
Mhm.
It's so. I was last night after we left the Cub. I was put in my headphones. I was listening to it, and I was walking to my car in the rec lot, and it was snowing, and I was just like legitimately dancing around the parking lot. I felt like I was in a movie. I was feeling my oats. It's just such a feel good song, and I really like it. I like that. I don't know. It just made me feel like I was like 12.
Right.
And I was like,
Nostalgia,
"Oh."
yeah.
Yeah. definitely nostalgic. But I mean, now Joe is not married. I think that 2 of the 3 of them are married, and the one has kids.
Yeah, I know one just got married
Yeah.
a few months ago.
Yeah,
but
he married Priyanka Chopra.
Mhm.
She's amazing. She was in Quantico. Phenomenal show. If you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix.
Oh.
And then Kevin, the least attractive one by far. But-
Allegedly.
no, it's
According
not
to your
allegedly.
opinion, this is a commentary.
I have done interviews with not thousands, hundreds of people, and I asked the same question: who was the most attractive Jonas Brother when we were younger? Everyone says Joe, which is true. And then second question: who's the most attractive now? Nick.
John, we should start asking that question in our interviews.
In all our interviews,
Yeah.
for all of our
Interviews. It's
stories,
important.
for all for the Slate.
Absolutely.
You get a great sense of who someone is based off of their answers to those questions.
I'm
Oh
sure.
my God.
It's like
I'm sure.
I almost said it's like the Richter test, but I think that's like how you judge earthquakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Richter test at all. It's not like a magnitude. But yeah, so 2 of them are married, which that's the only problem I have with the song. I don't know if
With the song.
I don't know if it's a me thing, but when I
Probably.
have to, like when they're singing, it's like a love song. It's like
Mhm.
kind of like a messy love song. It's not just like, oh, like we're so in love. It's like, oh, like kind of fun. They're talking about like stumbling out of bars, following this girl around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but you're married. You're married.
It kind of takes you out of the immersion.
Yeah,
of it,
I'm like,
It takes
it's
you out
not
of it?
real. It's fake.
Oh.
Like only Joe is the one that could be singing the song. So I'm
Well,
like,
maybe they're
oh.
talking about feelings they used to have,
I know that that's possible.
or
but
maybe they're talking as if maybe they're out of love with their partners. Shane, you don't know. This
you're
is,
right.
this
I
is
don't
their
know.
emotional biography. Their not biography, diary.
I know that I don't know everything. Well, I feel like I kind of do. But I know that I don't know everything. But it just, I was, like, I'm feeling my fantasy
Mhm.
of it just being, like, it's
Sapped
just,
away.
Yeah. And then it was just like, oh, but you're married. Nick just got married.
Right.
So, if what you said is true and he's out of love, like, geez. And their wedding, if you know anything about Indian weddings, they take
Forever.
forever.
Mhm. They
Like,
go hard with it.
Nick and Priyanka were getting married for 3 months straight. Like, and then they finally get married, like, maybe a month ago. Like, it's finally over. They come back to America.
Mhm.
And then he drops this song. I was like, what? It's just, I don't know. That's my only problem I have with the
It's
song, is that they're married.
And Joe's single, but he's engaged to Sophie Turner.
Are we serious? He's engaged
yeah.
too?
Yeah, that's what this article here says. I have a USA Today article up about it. He's engaged to Sophie Turner.
Are you
She's
kidding me?
Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So the Jonas brother Joe Jonas.
Is engaged to Sansa?
Sansa Stark.
Sansa? What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Now
I
the
think
whole song's
remember
just
reading
ruined.
that.
What? Jeez.
So they're all taken men, but they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song
Mhm.
regardless. I'm gonna listen to it, pretend some other people are singing it. And the only other thing that I will say is in the album art. Have you seen it?
No.
I've
Okay.
seen like little flashes of the
They have
imagery.
this amazing. I don't want to say it's like a castle, but it's like something that rich white people would live in Britain
Right.
or something. And they have these like giant balloon towers going around it, and they're
Oh,
all
it's a chateau.
yeah. That.
A very very
bless 'em.
French, very fancy.
Please stand down, John. I can barely speak English. But so they're standing in front of this building. There's these huge balloon towers, and they're wearing these outfits.
Mhm.
Have you seen it?
I saw it before we started recording,
Yeah.
but
Probably pull up the
Flip
They're
it around,
wearing
yeah.
these outfits that are just like absurd. Joe's wearing this monochromatic flowered onesie sort of thing,
Mhm.
which I love. I would probably wear. Nick has on pink pants, his hands in his pockets, probably to hide his wedding ring,
yep.
Oh.
which is absurd. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
That's it.
There it
It's
is.
crazy. And then on the end, Kevin, is this Woodstock? What are you doing? It's like tie dye.
I like that.
It
though.
looks like a thermal heat map
I'll
of
wear
like
it,
a
though.
ghost hunting show.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would probably wear Joe's outfit. Like, I'd be most inclined.
Well, this article I'm reading here, it says it's like they're celebrating their loves instead of like.
I mean,
Maybe you took away a
you're
different
right.
feeling from it.
I mean, listen,
you're entitled to your reaction.
I'm deaf in one ear, so I will say maybe I didn't catch all the words,
Oh.
and I don't know what the song's entirely about. But
Hey, that's okay.
You were just happy it came out.
yeah, I was so
Return
happy
of the
it came
Jonas
out.
Brothers.
Yeah,
This-
we were listening.
It's been how long? How many years? 6 years since their last.
It's been
2013.
it's been too long.
Too
That's
long.
like too long. That's all that you need to know.
Mhm.
There's I'm happy, I'm elated, pleased, excited
Mhm.
that this is happening again. But I also think my worry is that it's just gonna be like a teaser. They're
Yeah.
just
And
gonna
that's
like
it.
drop this and then they're just gonna never do anything
Right.
again. And it's crazy because I'm so invested and I feel so strongly about it. And I never liked them before. It was like something happened in the
it's-
6 years they
It's
were
the
off.
absence that like made you miss
oh
them.
my god, yeah,
Yeah.
absence
I
truly
never
made-
knew I loved them, but
I remember they were all over TV in like 2012, 2011.
I was
I'm like,
sick
oh,
of
just
it.
get off
I
my
was
screen.
Sick of it.
like
I also-
that's all my little sister listened to. Like
Yeah.
she was like big into Disney, so she
Mhm.
like Camp Rock, like that was all her jam.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I was
Final
a little
jam.
middle
Yeah.
school boy. I hated Disney and blah 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 blah. But now it's like, you know, graduated high school. I'm out in the world. You know, it's like I can appreciate the stuff that
Is
I
this
used to
the
hate.
world?
Is this the world?
the real world? No, I think my problem with it was I was straight then.
Hmm.
My sexuality was a bit of a doozy.
Right.
And so I think now that I'm out and proud, I'm like, wow, I love these men. I'm obsessed with them. I love them all. I would literally die for any one of them. So, except for Kevin, because he's
Except for Kevin.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think the fact that he's a dad is throwing me off. But yeah, that was probably why I was like not a fan now. But so now I'm living my like 12-year-old
Right.
fantasy.
Yeah.
So I'm like screeching, like I was screaming when we were listening to it last night. It was
there was a scream or two.
it was
there.
a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot last night. That's all I'll say about it. I'm exhausted. I slept until 1 p.m. today.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
I know.
That's college life for you, though.
You hurried here though.
I
You
did hurry.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
heard you guys.
rushed.
I heard through the grapevine that they were doing a podcast.
Yes, this was a completely last minute thing.
And
by
I
the way.
was not invited. So I woke up, ran here.
Originally, Shane was not supposed
Yeah.
to be
I
here.
busted in, especially when I heard it was at the Jonas Brothers after I threw that whole party last night. I
Okay,
bust-
maybe that was cruel of me.
Yeah, I
Maybe I
busted
should have.
in here and was like, I heard you guys are doing a podcast. And they're like, no. And I was like, you're lying.
We did not say
You're
no.
We did not
lying.
say no. We did not say no.
So now here I am on the podcast as per usual.
As
Per
per
usual. Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, per usual, I meant I got what I wanted.
Right. Yeah, and well, going back to how you say like, you know, they're all like married, so it
Yeah.
kind of takes you out of like what the actual song's saying. I feel like a lot of musicians do that.
I agree.
You know, whereas like, hey, they say one thing in this song, but like in real life they project a whole other
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I think that my greatest fear, this is probably not my greatest fear. My greatest fear is birds. But a fear that I do
Uh-huh.
have is that it's all ghostwriting. Like that they're
Right.
not writing their own stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And that's not just with the Jonas Brothers. That's just
You get
like,
that a lot with a lot of musicians.
That's just with everyone.
Yeah.
No, but that should be a huge fear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
art
agree.
is like art is how we think and how we experience the world, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's what it really comes down. Oh, this is a nice thematic sort of thing.
Jesus, John.
We're getting
This is
philosophical
getting
now.
so deep.
But art is how you think and experience the world and how you react to it. And if we can't rely on our celebrated artists in the world to think for themselves and celebrate
Uh-huh.
the
Absolutely.
world for themselves,
Yeah.
like how can we really trust anything? I mean,
Yeah.
how can we experience the world and react to it if we can't trust in them
Right.
to do it?
Yeah, I think in a larger sense, like, and this might be a less eloquent way of saying what you're saying, but like, it's not fair. Like, if somebody wrote that for you, and you're singing it, and you're making so much money off of it, like, just
Taking the credit.
give them the credit.
Yeah.
Like, just give them the.
And
the-
some artists do, but it's very
yeah,
hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you just don't see that part of it, and it's like if you have the voice and the looks, and you're the famous person, like,
Mhm.
what is the harm in just like throwing the person who like wrote these beautiful things like a bone?
Right.
Throw them a bone. Give them a thank you in your speech. What do they win? Oscars?
Grammys.
Grammys? They
Yes.
win Grammys. Yeah, in your Grammy speech, just be like, hey, thanks to this person who wrote this.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of artists, like I said, some artists do give credit, but it's very, very like hidden, discreet.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of artists don't give credit to like their ghostwriters
Yeah.
because they're afraid it will take credibility
Yeah.
away from them.
Well, I will say I'm grateful to them. Was it Meek Mill and Drake?
Yeah,
There was a beef of some sort.
I believe it was Meek Mill and Drake.
and they started calling each other out for having ghostwriters, and that was the first time that it became known to me that was even like a phenomenon.
Or it might have been Pusha T, who's another rapper. But
Yeah, great. I was blown away. I was like, what? They're not writing their own stuff. It like broke my heart, and now I'm paranoid. No one's writing their own things.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's a big part of it. I just feel like that's such a skill to have. Maybe it's just I'm jealous because I don't have that. Well, I can't sing either, but I also cannot write simple sentences, let alone like these beautiful songs and all this stuff like that. So that's something that, and this song raises a concern. Because if you're married, I don't know, how are you writing this?
I mean, I think you can write a song about someone you're married to, but like I don't
think it's like fun and it's the same.
I don't think. Well, maybe there is something there. I don't know.
Well, maybe this is just.
Maybe we shouldn't get too deep into it.
I was gonna say this could be just tied to my deep fear of commitment and marital issues.
Oh my god.
So that's just like I'll talk about that in therapy. We don't need to do it on the podcast.
Okay, great.
I'll just
Not this week.
I'll handle that later.
So where do we want to sort of go next? We went through all our topics. We still got a few minutes left. We got half an hour left if we really want to go.
Have you guys seen any like movies recently? I saw Happy Death Day
Happy Death
2, which was
The same plot as Happy Death Day 1.
absolutely the same plot. It was actually legit. It was actually the same plot, and it was pretty bad.
That's a horror movie, right?
Horror movie, yes.
Predictable.
It was pretty
I'm
bad.
so
It was
bored.
Predictable.
It wasn't even like so bad that it was good. Like I saw Escape Room. Escape Room before I went off, like during winter break, I saw Escape Room with a few of my friends. That was so bad that it was good, and it
Yes.
was so hilarious.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like this one, it was just come on.
Yeah. Well,
It's literally the same movie from the first
again, and I just don't like that cliche of, oh, I'd keep dying and waking up and I need to figure, like, there's a new movie that's come out on Netflix, Russian Doll,
one. Okay.
which is the same exact plot. It's like a woman just keeps falling down the stairs or something and dying, and she can't figure out why. It's just, what's it called when
Overdone.
yeah, it's overdone, but there's like a word. It doesn't matter. I don't know. But I'm just sick of seeing it. I don't care. Like, I feel like it's been done so much. It's like, oh my god, I can't stop thinking about that word. But yeah, so, and I saw that they were doing Happy Death Day 2, and I was like, this is about to be the same plot as the first one. And my roommates went and saw it, and they loved it. But I think that might be because I didn't see the first one.
Right. Yeah.
So
Well,
it's not like you're seeing the
it
same
was
thing
weird
again.
because like there were some parts in it. Because a lot of sequels nowadays, you see the movie, you don't have to see the first movie to get it. But like, you know, this movie, there were a lot of parts where you had to see the first movie and you had to get that. So it might have been a bit confusing to them, but I don't know. I guess I was entertained.
Yeah.
But like literally like halfway through the first movie, the fact of like her dying and like waking up, it was already overplayed.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make another new movie about it.
Yeah.
You know.
I genuinely think that in the next like 20 years, at least for me, like personally, I think that horror is going to find the genre of horror is going to merge with comedy, because it's just
I think it already has in a
all
sense.
over. In some ways, it really has, but
Yeah.
I think it's gonna the nails are going to be knocked firmly and irreversibly into the coffin of the horror
my
genre,
God.
because it's just all full of
The
cliches.
drama in that
and it's
statement,
just-
John.
What?
The drama.
The drama.
Of what you just said.
I mean, it's true
the
though.
drama of
It
it
is
all.
very.
He has a point.
No, I agree. I think
It's
it's
just-
really rare to see a horror movie now that isn't like, they don't have like those little one-liners or like someone makes a funny face and you
Mhm.
laugh. But I mean, I don't know. Would that be so bad? I'm sick of seeing movies that are scary. I like to go to sleep at night. I like to imagine that it's all not real, and when I'm laughing a little bit, it's funnier.
I tell you, one movie. All right, I've never enjoyed the horror genre ever. I
Okay.
think it's all funny. I think it's dumb, and I've never gotten scared by horror movies.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Recently,
we're not all that lucky.
I guess we're not. But recently, I watched Pulp Fiction. I finally got around to watching Pulp Fiction, and that movie, the some of the scenes in there, the just the violence and the there's a rape scene in there where one character is raped, and it's just so Tarantino does such a good job of making these scenes visceral. They're
Right.
like immersing you rather into these scenes
Mhm.
that it has a profound effect on you.
How did
because
you sleep that night?
not the most well.
Right.
Not the most
Well,
well.
that's
Because it just feels so real. It's not. It doesn't.
Yeah.
There's this like silly comedic part of it too.
Well, that's a that like reality feeling and like that violence and that gore. That's kind of a big staple of a lot of Tarantino movies. I'd say most of
Mhm.
them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't seen too many myself.
Right.
But it's just like the way he, and I think it's also had something to do with like the lighthearted, the way he would contrast the lighthearted, the audience feels like this relief or this like they're like they're happy or like something funny's going on. There's the whole a tasty cheeseburger scene with Samuel L. Jackson where
Right.
he's eating the cheeseburger and like taunting those guys, and then he shoots the guy on the couch. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is not a happy movie.
It lulls you into that false sense of security.
Yes,
And you're like,
that's
maybe there's
exactly
some
the way.
hope in the world. Maybe there's something out there that's good. And then it's like, oh, never mind. you naive, sweet
Yeah.
fool. No, I know what you mean. I'm not I love watching movies, but I just don't never find myself really watching them. So like you talk about these movies, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen that, and I always remember wanting to have seen it.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
I've heard so much about Pulp Fiction. People are
Oh
always
my
talking
gosh,
about
Shane.
it. I know.
I mean, I haven't seen it either. I've just seen clips of it. I haven't seen the actual movie.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
some
Mike-
good clips from that.
Mike's
but
a whole A&E editor and hasn't seen it. Like, get off my back.
it's on
Assistant-
Netflix. Come
assistant
on.
A&E
Is it really on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, yeah.
Oh,
we can
no.
have another movie night.
Oh,
we can have a
let's
movie
do
night.
it. Oh, also, Avengers: Infinity War came out. Was it
Oh,
this
it's
past
been
year?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been on.
I know, but I saw it with my friends in theaters.
Uh-huh.
Fell
Oh.
asleep during the middle of it.
Oh no.
Woke up once the credits started rolling. As soon as the credits started rolling, so I missed the whole
Oh,
ending
gosh,
that
Michael.
everybody and their mother has been talking about, and I still haven't seen it.
You
I
still
haven't
haven't seen
the
it,
rest of the movie.
Michael.
So if we're gonna do a movie night, let's do it on Avengers.
Okay. I have also not seen Avengers Infinity War, but I have a good reason.
A good reason?
that?
What's
Yes,
your good reason?
This is the reason. I have crushing and overwhelming anxiety
Okay.
that I will see Avengers Infinity War and not understand every small reference to a different movie, every nuance of like a character development that I missed from not seeing a movie. So I have been watching every other Avengers movie
Right.
like 8 times.
Okay.
Because everything that's tied into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I need to watch it, see it, analyze it, write a paper about it before I will watch Infinity War, because I am so scared that I will miss the full experience of it all. Because I was under the impression that it was the last one.
Right.
Come to find out, there's a whole other thing
It's true.
happening.
To be fair
Yeah.
though, in the movie they do kind of build it as if it's going to be the
Yeah.
last one.
So I was like, oh no. Now I know. Spoiler alert, but like a third of the people die.
Everybody dies.
Yeah, everybody dies.
Apparently.
I can't handle that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
not
I
in
still
a-
haven't seen it with my own eyes.
I cannot confirm nor deny
Allegedly, in theory.
that people die in Avengers.
I can't handle that right now.
Okay, spoiler warning over.
Yeah, so that's like, I haven't seen it.
Mhm.
It's been almost a year and a half since it came. A year.
Mhm.
It
Wow,
came
it
out a
hasn't
while
been
ago.
long, huh?
I will not watch it. I was dating a boy for a while. He was like, please watch Infinity War with me. Like, this is like, it was like more to him than getting married. And I was like, I will not do it. We since broke up. But that was like, it's crushing anxiety that I'll miss a part of it.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
I get that.
I have 2 superhero tattoos. I'm so into Marvel and
Right.
Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's like that felt like everything to me. And then come to find out, it's like, oh, this isn't it. It's not over. Like there's more. So no, I haven't seen it. I won't be seeing it anytime soon.
All right.
How
I'm not-
far into watching all the Marvel movies are you?
Admittedly, I haven't been making a whole lot of progress. I've seen all of the Avengers
Okay.
leading up to it. I still need to do Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Right.
which is
That
now
was a
on
good
Netflix.
movie.
I refuse to watch any Hulk movies because that's just
I don't like the whole.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
There was a weak point in there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Thor is a problem for me because who is it? Chris Hemsworth,
Mm-hmm.
love of my life. Can't watch him be in love with other people, so it's hard for me to watch Thor. I'm still angry and emotional that we never got a solo Black Widow movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But-
With Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
I thought you had strong feelings
No,
on her.
I like Scarlett Johansson.
Do you?
For those of you that don't understand the reference, I wrote a staff editorial the other week about Scarlett Johansson being in a lot of movies where she was playing roles that were meant for people of color.
Mhm.
But But I also wrote at the end of the article, John, if you read it, that I don't believe it was entirely her fault. I think it's the producer's responsibility. So I'm Scarlett Johansson, if you're listening. I didn't attack you in that
You're
article.
listening, Scarlett Johansson.
if you're listening. Yeah, but so I haven't seen it. I would like to do a movie night, maybe watch Pulp Fiction, if you guys will all come to my house afterwards.
Sure,
and
yeah.
sleep and protect me.
And protect you.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm bad with scary movies. And so that's where we had the conversation about horror movies, and it's like, what do I know? Because I watch like one a year, and I'm still having nightmares.
Have you seen the new Spider-Man movie? The animated one.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
No, I haven't
That's
seen it.
not. I highly recommend it. It's not a part of the Marvel. Well, it's not a part of the Marvel
Cinematic universe,
cinematic
yeah.
universe. So I highly recommend that. It was
Could be.
very funny. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But
Could be.
that'd be kind of hard to
They're
explain. wouldn't it?
cartoons,
Yeah.
too. But I've heard the soundtrack for that. If we're gonna get into some like
Yeah.
multifaceted A&E discussion,
Yep.
the soundtrack to that is phenomenal.
It is.
It's so good.
Well, the soundtrack to like every Marvel movie is phenomenal.
Yeah,
like
I would say.
Black Panther's soundtrack was.
Oh my
Did,
God.
what, did it win a Grammy?
I think they won an award.
They
yeah,
won
they
an
won
award,
an award
yeah.
for that
Black-
because I wrote a review as soon as it came out.
Black Panther?
Yeah, about Black Panther. Yeah, and something that I found was so interesting about the soundtrack, and I think that's why they got the award, is that they combined so many facets of music that you would traditionally think is black. So they had like some hip hop and rap and stuff
Yeah.
in there. They had some traditional orchestral like John Williams Star Wars kind of vibe music sort of stuff. And then they had the traditional African stuff too.
Yeah.
When they're back in Wakanda and they're having all the rituals or they're having the festivals and stuff.
Right.
That was so cool to me. It just wasn't a big score
Yeah.
written by one person. There was many contributions.
They blended a lot together.
And they blended a lot together. I thought that was so well done. I really did.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy too. I just saw Black Panther a couple months ago. So that was like my project. I was like, I'm going to watch Black Panther a couple times. And I was completely and utterly blown away.
It was
every
really
aspect of it was so good.
It was very good.
It was good.
And I saw recently that it was up for, what are these, Oscars?
Yeah.
It was up for a couple Oscars, I think. And I was really happy to see that, because I think it was such a big moment for black culture and black cinematic culture and black music. It was just like a real celebration of all of that. And I thought it was, I know at the time from speaking to my friends that are black, it was so empowering for them to see that, because we haven't had like a big black superhero. So that was really cool to see, and I'm happy that it had this success in the box office. It was like what?
It was so
It
much
was
more.
very
it was.
successful.
I would say it was more successful than most other movies in the
It
MCU.
was crazy. So I thought that was really great. And also, I mean, the soundtrack was amazing. But we have back to this Introduction Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Sunflower, which has been, or Sunflowers, with Post Malone and Sway Lee.
That's been on the top 10 for a while.
Forever.
For a long time.
It came out in that movie. And
I was designing the pages for A&E, well, the page for A&E where we do like the comments and stuff, and we always do a top 10 like Billboard 100 on the bottom of the page, and I've been doing it for like what, 3-4 weeks, John, and it's been up there the whole time.
Yeah, shameless plug.
It's
to
been up
read
there
the newspaper.
read the newspaper. No, it's been up there since last fall. It's really interesting. So
I remember driving back from my ex's house. He lived in Philly, and the first time I heard it, and that was October. So it's like, and that's when it first came out, and it has been at the top ever since, and it's so good. Post Malone, I would do anything for him.
He is so cool.
Post Malone, he
smells
bad.
He does.
Does he?
Post Malone looks like he smells.
Apparently he does smell.
Yeah, I've heard he smells bad too.
Well, he makes good music. I like his music and I like his personality. So.
Yeah, Post Malone, it's great because you can listen to his music and bop and have a good time too. But also, wow, does it make you feel okay about not showering for a couple days?
Oh my gosh.
And then
Post Malone, if you're listening to this.
Post Malone
and
if
Scarlett Johansson.
No, they're probably sitting together listening.
Together on a date.
Oh my God, the Slate A&E podcast is coming out today. Better sit down and give it a good listen. No, yeah, but that was really good, and I think it's true. So many of the MCU movies, the soundtracks are phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Which you love to see. I know that. Did you guys see Alita Battle Angel?
No, but her
I've
eyes are
not.
weird.
Yeah, her eyes are weird. John, are you familiar?
No.
My general understanding of the plot is, it is
Did you watch it?
no,
Okay.
absolutely not. I have I have 11 cents in my bank account right now and like $3 in cash.
That's
so
fair.
I wasn't going to see anything.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I know, I looked it up because there's a song. It was Dua Lipa. How do you
I
Dua
don't know.
Lipa? Dua Lipa. John, do you know how to say her name?
No.
Okay,
I'm gonna try it.
DUA
DUA.
LIPA.
Dua Lipa.
Dua
Maybe.
Lipa. I don't.
We'll have to look it up after.
Dua
Okay,
Lipa,
fair
whatever the heck. Sorry. She released a song. It's called Swan Song.
Right.
Have you heard it? It's really good.
I've
It's
not. I haven't
almost
heard of
into the top 10, I think. So it's a really big song for her.
Mhm.
So upon its release, I looked up the movie that it was in because it's from this Alita Battle Angel.
Right.
Mhm.
From what I understand, she's a robot that was made to kill people. Or
What are
something.
these eyes?
Yes,
think
I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm looking at these eyes.
Yeah, I know,
here.
that's what I'm
That's what Michael
saying.
said too. He said her eyes are weird.
Because listen, back home I work
Huge
at a movie
eyes.
theater back home, and so we
That's why you're
have
seeing all these movies.
exactly for free, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
So we have like a 4-panel, like a 4-monitor system on the wall where you could like watch these different trailers. But like we have like songs from like soundtracks of movies
Uh-huh.
playing over it, so we can't hear it. Like it's a silent trailer.
Yeah.
And so all I see is like this, like robotic lady with like huge eyes,
Yeah,
just like,
she's, like-
smash somebody into a table.
She's normal.
Yeah.
Like she's just a regular person,
Mhm.
except for she has large eyes.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing that they did to her. I don't know why they just didn't make her normal. And then she has a love interest. And so I'm like, why is this man in love with a cartoon? Like it's super weird. I think
Can we confirm that they digitally edited her eyes to make them
yes,
big?
I hope so.
yes,
All right.
Yeah.
Let's not be disparaging this poor actress
no,
here.
They edited her eyes. If
They
you
def-
see the trailer, like they're huge. It's like
Very huge.
I'm definitely looking at a picture here.
they're
I
bigger
hope-
than they look in that photo.
Do you know,
John has a photo up, but they're bigger than that in the trailer. Like they look massive.
See.
It's like almost her whole head.
Do you know the scene in SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs, like I think something happens to Mr. Krabs and his eyes just bulge out of his like
Yes,
head?
yes.
Yeah,
That's-
that's Alita. That's right there.
Legitimately Alita Battle Angel. You're going to see it. You're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, just watch SpongeBob instead.
Yeah.
Oh.
But so that's like the only other movie I even know is out right now.
Hmm.
And it's only because the soundtrack is good.
Right.
Dua Lipa Lou, she contributed to that.
Yes.
But yeah, so Swan Song, if you guys get a chance to listen to
Mhm.
that.
You said it might make it on the top 10, huh?
I think, yeah, it's
Okay.
headed that way. It's been on the top 10 for Spotify
All right.
for a couple weeks. So that was, and then that's pretty much how I get all of my music is Spotify top 10. I'll listen to today's top hits. It's the like most popular playlist on Spotify,
Right,
and they
yeah.
just rank it. And it's like pretty much Ariana Grande's entire album, and then like this song.
The Ariana Grande's like latest album,
Yeah.
3 songs. 3 of her
There
songs
are-
from
there
that
are
album or
3 up
top
there.
3.
Yes, I
There's
know.
That's
one.
crazy.
Ariana is running
Oh,
pop.
Yeah.
it's changed since then.
She is-
It's back up. The 7 Rings is still the top one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But there's next there is Without Me by Halsey.
There you go,
Sunflower
top
by
3.
Post Malone. There we
as
go.
said.
Then there's Thank You Next from Ariana Grande.
Mhm.
It's going down a bit.
Yeah.
And then there's Break Up With Your Girlfriend. That's number 8.
Yeah.
That went down all the way from last week. I think that was number 3.
It was up there.
Yeah. But
So-
last week they were all top 3.
Yeah, she took it by storm, it seems, and then
Yeah.
and then all the other songs
Well,
that.
yeah, it's natural for it to cool down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know who's doing her marketing strategy, but they
Geniuses.
deserve everything.
Yeah.
The Thank You Next video, it reached like 1 million views in
Mhm.
like an instant, like a millisecond. And it's just, she builds all this like hype around her things that like there's a good wait time, so like everyone knows when it's coming, or
Mhm.
she'll just like drop something as a surprise. It's her marketing team is crazy. The
Mhm.
things that they're doing is nuts. And also, I think the album is flames.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
7 Rings, genius. To like weave favorite things. What is that song from Sound of Music?
I have no idea. I haven't listened to
These
the album
are a
yet.
few of our favorite
Yeah,
things.
it's called
okay.
Favorite
Yeah.
Things. like whatever that song, that
Right.
was phenomenal. The first time I heard Seven Rings, I think I listened to exclusively that song for like 3 or 4 hours.
Mhm.
Right.
It was so good. And the rest of the album on NASA, the song opens with Shangela, who's a really popular drag queen if you watch Drag Race.
Okay.
And she's like, one small step for woman, one giant leap for womankind. Love it. Like, just I feel like every detail.
It seems like it's a very empowering album.
Yeah. Which she said when she won an award. Not that I'm like an Ariana Grande expert, but it was like, this has been the worst year of my career, or the best year for my career, but the worst year of my life.
Right.
And I feel like that you can feel that in the album because it is so empowering.
Absolutely,
and it's very, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you listened to it all the way through?
I have not. No. I'm
Yeah,
not
me
really.
neither.
I'm not really.
I'm not shocked that John hasn't listened to
All-
it all the way through.
all-
I walked into the office the other day and John is listening to like
It's
Ni-
the Blues
it
Brothers.
was 1930s
The
jazz.
Blues Brothers.
It was
That's
No, it
so
was
good
not.
music, though. Are you
Oh
kidding
my
me?
God.
That's really
Shane.
good.
See, I have such an older music taste that I'm not really interested in Ariana Grande that much. I'm not really interested. Like Post Malone, I'll listen to sometimes. But like Cardi B, no. Travis Scott, I don't know these people.
Okay.
But I know like
I know him. I just don't listen to him.
like I'll listen to Muse. I'll listen to Blues Brothers. Like I'll
Right.
listen to movie soundtracks.
Mhm.
And I'll listen to like really obscure stuff too. Just like if I'm writing and I need like this background music on
Yeah.
top of me, I'll listen to like Russian choir singing or Mongolian throat. all this
I know.
weird stuff.
No, John really was listening to Mongolian throat sing. The
I
other
really
day,
was.
We're all sitting in the office. I was probably not working. And he goes,
You are not telling this
do
story.
you guys know what I've been into lately? And I was like, tell me, John. Like thinking it was going to be something a lot more interesting.
Oh my
And
god.
He goes, Mongolian throat singing. And I was like, ugh. Like legit, my eyes rolled out of my head and down the stairs because I was like, only John Bergmuller
Bergmuller.
would say this. But unfortunately, I'm disgusted to say I have a background in Mongolian throat singing.
Do you?
Not
A
that
background.
not that I can do it.
did
but,
you
like,
did you major in it?
Yeah, it's my minor. No, but I know of it. And so when you
Mhm.
were talking about it, I was like, why do I know what this is? For those of you that don't know, Mongolian throat singing is a practice in which
It's a style.
it's a style of singing.
It's a lifestyle.
They scream, they vibrate.
What they do is and you can
You wanna
teach yourself
demonstrate
to
for
do
us?
it.
John,
I can't do it right now. No, I
Look
cannot
up a
do it.
YouTube tutorial.
I will not do it. But what they do is they put years of practice in, and what they can do is they can sing like a single tone. So they'll sing like a C,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
But then they'll modify their tongue, the positioning of their tongue and their lips and their teeth in such a way that it produces an overtone. It'll produce like a little whistle
Yeah.
over top while you're singing. So you end up getting like two notes. So you'll sing a C and an E, and you can like
Yeah.
harmonize with it. And like some that are good will just like hold the C like all the way
The
down,
full song.
and then they'll like do like this whistling, like all this like intricate like
Right. Wow.
all
Yeah.
this
They
all
can
this
sing
whistling.
like it's the basically the point of it is they can sing 2 notes at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which to me is absurd. I can't even sing 1 note.
Hmm.
It's impressive.
It
Yes.
is. It is.
It sounds impressive.
It's beyond impressive, but it's also so
So
weird.
Yeah.
So weird. So weird. So it's like it's intriguing,
Mhm.
frightening, exciting.
But it's not something yet you would listen
No.
to. Unlike
No,
John, it's
yeah,
not like
but then,
something
but so
that
John's
you
like,
would listen to.
do you know what I've been into lately? I was like, what? Like it's like a neat. Like we just listened to it in class one time.
Mhm.
Mhm.
In my history class when I was like a freshman, so many years ago. And like that was neat. It was like a 2-minute clip. Great,
Yeah.
we all saw it. We
Yeah.
all know what it is. We're moving on.
We
But
moved
John
on
was
from our
listening to
life.
it in practice. Like
It wasn't.
for
I was writing.
enjoyment.
I was writing. So the night before that,
Don't
I was
you
writing.
make an excuse.
I
for
was
yourself.
I was writing something. It was like an essay or whatever, or I was writing like a short story for a fiction writing or something like that. And I was just like put on like weird cultural stuff like that to sort of stimulate my imagination and just like sort of get in the mood
That's what
writing and
stimulates
stuff.
your imagination.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
well, yeah, because you gotta. I know I'm weird. I have to have like music that relates to what I'm writing. Like I was writing like characters or whatever, so I was
Okay.
listening to like Russian singing for a Russian character I was writing. I was listening to this for like another character I was trying to write.
Okay.
And so what I do is I put that on, and then I just got stuck in my head, and I couldn't stop.
You're lying. That was not stuck in your head.
It was stuck in my
I
head.
mean, I
Shane.
see it. Like there are songs like you said, the Ariana Grande song where you listen to for like what 4 hours.
Yeah, Shane. You did not listen to Ariana Grande for 4
where like you hear
Oh,
them and you
John.
can't stop listening to
Do
them.
not doubt that you're gonna be sadly mistaken
I
if you
believe
think
you,
I
Shane.
did not do that.
Shane, I believe you.
It probably wasn't just that song, but like I would do like one on, one off. of
Right, you
Seven
can't stop
Rings.
listening to that song.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
But what I think would be interesting of Mongolian throat singing, because I love it when people do this, like sampling it
Yes.
on like a more modern song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
That
I
would
think
be
that
so
that would
cool.
be so neat. Like when people are throwing in, Pink has a new song. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Probably not because
No.
you're listening to like Louis Armstrong or something. It's called "Walk Me Home,"
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's sampled with these. These male voices. They're super deep. They sound a little. They're auto-tuned, so they sound. It sounds like kind of like you're getting like I'm in the future.
Right.
Robots
Okay.
took over,
Yeah.
and it's like a choir of angry robots. And they're singing that, and like the song is just kind of like traditional pop, whatever. It's like about being like the world being so bad, you need someone to walk you home. I don't really know.
Oh.
But it's like it's kind of like it's such an obscure element, and it sets it apart, and I love it. I can't stop listening
Right.
to it. And so it would be cool to see like a sample of something. Obviously not maybe in Mongolian throat singing, but I took music last semester. We would listen to medieval plain chants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, those got to me. Like I would listen to those in my like daily life. Not as much. Not chill, John. Not like you do. But like I would listen to those. And then I've heard some of them sampled on like modern songs.
Right.
And I was like, I like this. I'm intrigued. And it's just something different.
I really like when musicians do that. Like they can use samples in such creative, very
Yeah.
creative ways. Like there's this artist that I listen to. He's kind of underground. His name's MF Doom.
Oh, you might
And-
not know. He goes to a different school.
Wait, who does?
No, you might be too
He's
young.
making a joke.
Oh,
It's a joke. It's
okay.
Keep going.
I feel, dang. So there's this rapper called MF Doom, kind of underground, but he's like known for including all these weird, wacky samples in his
Yeah.
music. Like there's one song where he samples like the very first airing of the Weather Channel, their very first theme. He samples
Wow.
that, and he makes it into like this rap beat, and it's
That's
so
so
cool.
absurd.
It's
Okay.
absurd, but it's so cool and impressive.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think stuff like that's awesome. I saw a guy the other day, and it was like an Instagram video.
Right.
He sampled. There was a car alarm
Okay.
going off outside his
Right.
apartment, and he
Mhm.
sampled it and made this amazing track.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a guy sampled Fiona
Okay.
singing from Shrek,
Yeah.
and Fiona singing with the birds
Shrek.
and making them like, all right.
Continue. Sorry.
So he sampled that, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. And it's stuff that, like, I would love for someone big to pick up something like that
Mhm.
because it's so catchy, it's so interesting, it's like
Yeah.
outside the box. I don't know, it's neat. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
It's very. You could take because the thing is, samples on songs could like open you up to other forms of entertainment. Because
Yeah.
a lot of samples are from like movies and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but you would never guess like that sample was taken from this specific movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it would make you want to see that.
Do you guys think that anyone's gonna sample this podcast?
I would hope so.
Something that we said.
Yeah, something you dissing
Something
on.
that you said, yeah.
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson. Could you
Johansson.
imagine if we got like a scathing letter?
A lawsuit, a
Scarlett
subpoena.
Johansson's agent.
Our first podcast.
No, Scarlett.
That would
I
end
didn't
it.
mean to. No, yeah, but I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Scarlett, we love you.
Yeah,
Post
if you
Malone,
get
we
one-
love
Post
you.
Malone, we love
You
you.
get one thing if you guys are together. I'm sorry. My parents, it's Post Malone and Scarlett Johansson.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're coming up on the end of this podcast here. We've about hit our hour mark, but thank you for listening. Thank you both of you for coming here. Michael for coming here, and then Shane for bursting in the last minute. I think it was very rewarding to
Don't
have
act
you here.
like I was invited.
I think-
but I'm happy to be here.
No, I think it added something. I think you added some energy.
Yeah,
to
it's-
it.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
added
You really helped.
ADHD.
It,
It was ADHD. That's
Just-
what you're trying to say.
just a dash.
A pinch.
So we don't know when we're gonna record next, but we're hoping to do it after spring break, and so we hope that everyone has a good weekend, or rather you're listening to this on Tuesday, so we hope everyone has a great week,
Great
hope
spring
that
break as well.
everyone has a great spring break. Yep, go to the beach, relax, and then
I wish.
come back and you wish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen
me
to
too.
some Mongolian throat singing.
Mhm.
Please do
And we'll
for
see
me.
And
you
Ariana
then.
Grande as well.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Nice.
3 probably.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.